Well, a new survey reveals Ontario has become a top destination for European travelers, with many putting Toronto at the top of their lists ahead of cities like Sydney and Tokyo. Joining us this morning to find out what's driving this growing interest is President and CEO of Destination Toronto, Andrew Weir. It's so great to have you in studio. Good
Thanks
morning.
for having me.
What I found really fascinating about the results of this survey that came out yesterday was that it's not just Canadians looking closer to home for their, vacations. European travelers, too, are now looking to Canada for their next trip. Why is that?
Well, we're seeing a whole shift in travel right now. A lot of the travel demand, and Ontario and Toronto are really well positioned to benefit from that. People are looking for places that inspire them, but where they also feel welcome. So we've got great stuff here. We've got great experiences here, whether it's in the city, the urban experience like Toronto or Niagara Falls or Muskoka. But people also want to travel somewhere where they're welcome right now. And a lot of people, quite frankly, aren't feeling very welcome in the U.S. They're worried about crossing the border. They're worried about how they're going to be received when they're there. So you're seeing that they're looking for alternatives. And what this survey shows us now is that Ontario and Toronto are really well positioned to benefit from that. This is a place that people see the value of traveling here, and they know that they can be comfortable with it.
I want to pick up on that note because, we know that it's not just the Canada-U.S. relationship that's under strain. The European-U.S. relationship is also weakening. Just how much of this, when you look at the results of this survey, has to do with the current political culture in the U.S.? I
think it's a bit of a mix. This has always been a destination that Europeans have traveled to. We've had visitors from the U.K., from Germany for a long time. I mean, the U.K. was our number one market for many years, and then China passed it around 2018-19. But now the U.K. again is our number one overseas market. So it's a mature tourism market. But what we're seeing now is a shift where there's that even larger portion that we're traveling to the U.S., and they're pulling back. So we're seeing a pullback in that U.S. travel by 10-15% from a lot of these countries. They still want to travel. What was really interesting in the survey is that the travelers were distinguishing between Canada and the U.S. In some cases, the concern, of course, is that people look at travel to North America, and they'll go to New York and then maybe to Toronto as part of the same trip. But if they don't want to go to the U.S., will they still come to Canada? And the good news is this survey showed that they will.
I suppose, what is the awareness of our province like in Europe? Like, what did you find out? What did the survey results reveal about that?
Well, Ontario's always done well as a combination of experiences. So you've got that strong urban, you've got the biggest city in the country, and then you've got all the adjacent experiences around it. Muskoka, you've got the national capital in Ottawa, you've got Prince Edward County, Niagara. So there's an awareness of the nature, an awareness of the falls and the beautiful, the leaves, the trees. People travel for everything that they associate Canada with, which is a lot of that natural side. But there's that really strong pull for urban experiences too. People want to eat in great restaurants. They want to explore neighborhoods. They want to have the vibrancy and the energy of pro sports and theater and all those things that we do so well here in the city. So when you have that combination together, it works well. And the other advantage we have is great airlift. So people can get here, and that matters, and that's why this part of the country does a lot better in Europe than, say, Western Canada, because it's a shorter flight. It's about 7 hours from either, from the UK, a little bit longer from Germany, but we're in that range. We've got lots of direct air service, easy flights, so they can get here, and then Toronto serves as a gateway to the rest of the province as well.
Toronto in particular is in the spotlight because we know we're going to be hosting World Cup matches next year. Of course, that has attracted interest among European fans. But I wonder, what is the awareness and the interest in our city like beyond World Cup matches? Or did, the World Cup perhaps put us on the map, so to speak, with the Europeans?
Well, the World Cup will help. I mean, we're about a year away still. It's certainly going to help. It'll drive a lot of awareness. We're one of 16 cities. So on the one hand, it's hard to stand out when there's 16 cities. On the other hand, I think, because we have the first Canadian match here, so the men's Canadian match, the second match of the tournament, there will be a lot of attention on Toronto as part of that. So we don't yet know what teams are playing here other than Team Canada's first game. So we'll know that in December, and then that'll help. Hopefully some of those big countries like the UK or England or Germany will be playing right here, and that'll bring even more attention. But we've opened offices in these, specifically Toronto tourism offices in Germany, the UK, also Mexico City now, because of that opportunity. And the World Cup is one of those events that will help drive more awareness.
Okay, I have to leave it there. I'm out of time. Andrew Weir with Destination Toronto. Thanks so much for your time this morning. Appreciate it.